Mhm. Hi, everyone. Good to see you again. Happy Saturday. Again, I'm going to correct your motivation is the first step always. And then last time, the Four Dharmas of Gampopa discussed the importance of practicing the Dharma, right? And how to bring your mind into the Dharma, towards Dharma. We talked about that. Now let's talk a little bit about Dharma here, Four Dharmas of Gampopa. So what is Dharma? Of course, many of you know what is Dharma and what Dharma can do for us. Dharma is Chu in Tibetan. Chu, it means all kinds of things, many meanings. Chu has many meanings, which is Dharma. A lot of people think Dharma is religion, but that kind of misunderstand. Dharma is much more than religion. As many of you know, religion is a specific fundamental set of beliefs based on lots of these cultural systems, you know. For example, they have a lot of these symbols and it's kind of like strange views and such as, you know, create special sort of days, and then that day they, you know, do good things and bad things, like sometimes they killed a lot of animals and then they offered their blood to their whatever their beliefs, their god or deity or whatever. Sometimes people or human beings are so stupid. When I was in Nepal, they have this kind of a special day. They killed lots of these cows and chicken, you know, like thousands. And then there is a special place. I went there, and there is like a sort of rock statue of strange kind of like deity. And then they killed all these animals in front of him, and then they offer their blood all over that rock, you know, that kind of the statue. People believe it. It's just so stupid, right? So so therefore, you know, from their beliefs, they created, you know, this kind of like religious rules, and that day you have to go there, and some like these poor people, they don't have like any like chicken or cows, but they bring an egg, you know, and then they, you know, sort of offer that, and you know, they think you have to follow that their rules. If you don't follow the rules, or if you don't believe it, you're going to hell, you know. So the practice of a religion, they also have a lot of rituals, commemoration and veneration of deity, gods, and then we also have what you got these festivals and prayers and music. this dance, Lama dance. They wear this strange clothes, and they wear this strange mask to represent, like deity. None of them to me is uh, it's just a game. And other sort of aspects of human culture. There's so many about this religion thing. So I think if you don't know what is the difference between religion and dharma, it could be very, very, very dangerous. It could be very harmful, as I said. Because the idea of religion or religious beliefs might destroy dharma. That happened, and it might will happen again. So then people don't understand a difference between dharma and religion, and then they hear the dharma, they think, oh, this is not good, because they know that these things about the religion things. They think, oh, that's the dharma, so I'm not going to practice that. That's totally different, right? Because a lot of people are not be able to distinguish between religion and dharma. What is religion? What is dharma? Because I will tell you this. Make sure that we understand. For example, practice rituals, or recite prayers. Just we did like 4 measurable prayers. We recite this prayer. Are those a religion thing or those of dharma? And then also we have this give initiation, empowerment, or making this chok faced, like this, the offerings, all of this could be religion, could be dharma. It depends on how you do it. I heard that people, in the West, they have no idea. Sometimes they practice chok faced, and they believe that during the chok feast you must drink, you must eat meat. Then people drink, and then people fight because they drunk. That's not dharma practice at all. And for example, initiation, like the empowerments. A lot of people like to receive empowerment without understanding. That's not dharma practice at all. The correct way to receive an initiation, first you must have a renunciation mind. Second, you must have some kind of a bodhicitta mind. Third, you must have a devotion, according to Lama Merpam Rinpoche, said these things, Fourth, comprehension of the teachings and the initiation, and the ability to visualize the deities and whatever, during the initiation. And also ability to uphold the tantric sort of precepts, the rule, the samaya after the initiation. You must investigate the teacher and understand the teacher has all these qualities that necessary to give initiation, empowerment. If any of these points is missing, you cannot receive initiation at all. You go there, lots of people do, right? Go there, you just stay there, and especially like receiving initiation from like this holiness, or this eminence based solely on their fame or high rank. It's just a game, You just don't receive initiation, the real initiation at all. I hope you know you don't, because otherwise there's lots of problem. But once you go there, you don't just you go there, you see this what they're doing, but you don't receive at all. That's good. If you don't have the correct sort of causes and conditions, as I said, these things, then you don't receive, even though you go there, you don't receive initiation at all. That's good. Otherwise, you think you receive initiation, but then you don't, you're not able to um, keep the precepts or the samaya, then it's not good. But if you go there, you don't receive, then you don't have any precept, you don't have any samaya that you have to follow. And sometimes even they don't give you the initiation in your language, and then you have no idea what is going on. This teacher says this Rachel in Tibetan or whatever, and you just there, but you have no idea what is going on. Because in order to receive, Lama Merpa Rinpoche said that, in order to receive that, you have to visualize, almost like you have to be mindful during the initiation. And then when the teacher recited these rituals, like word by word, you have to listen carefully and you have to visualize whatever it says, all of that kind of things. But lots of these teachers give you initiation in a Tibetan, and then you don't speak Tibetan, you have no idea what is going on. What is this guru, this holiness doing? You have no idea. That's not Dharma at all. That's not how you practice Dharma at all. No matter, I don't care. This is a great teacher, holiness or whatever. I don't care. That's not Dharma at all, according to Buddha Shakyamuni teaching. So people would like to receive initiation, yet due to a lack of their knowledge about Tantric teachings, about the understand, the comprehension sort of understanding of Tantric teachings, and both, the teachers and disciples are not qualified. And then there are a lot of problems between them after they received the initiation. So that kind of religion, that is what I call the religion. That kind of religion could destroy Dharma, destroy your practice, destroy your path, destroy your view. So therefore, I always think that Dharma teachers who really sort of wish to benefit others, I think they should give sort of profound Dharma teaching rather than this sort of like the culture system, the religion thing. The profound Dharma teachings that are really sort of full of benefits, no danger, no dangerous, just like mind training, these things, right? But why people doing these things? Sometimes I just don't understand why people doing these things, these religious things. I think a lot of people believe these things and out of ignorance, even though it's clear, right? You just create special day, and then you killed a lot of animals in front of this deity. It's very obvious. It's wrong, but still people believe it because they think if you don't do it, you're going to hell, or if you don't do it, then you're not going to success your life. It's just so out of ignorance they're doing these things. That's ignorance. That's why last time we talked about the outwardly concerns, right? Outwardly concerns. So as long as you are engaged in this, worldly concerns, then your mind is very limited. That means like you can't grow your capacity. Ponchemba said that as long as, do you remember last time we talked, as long as your mind mixes with this worldly concerns, you are not real Dharma practice at all. Because it's not Dharma. You receive initiation, this kind of thing, you make a chok face, you make prayers, but your mind is not mixed with these things correctly, then you are not Dharma practice, because your doing is not Dharma. That's why you're not a real Dharma practitioner. That's what this teacher is saying. So, I always think, I always concerned and sort of having a fear of we're going, in the future, like we're going in the wrong direction. Because the teacher's fault, actually, they don't give you the right teachings and right, they don't guide you correctly, accordingly, then you believe these things. So Buddha Shakyamuni was unique. It's an amazing teacher. That's why he's investigate all these things. You need to make sure otherwise don't just follow whatever others say. That, I think, it's just $1 million words. He said, examine yourself carefully. We are in a very dangerous time now. These days, like, people would use the Buddha's teachings as a tool, is a method to accomplish worldly purpose, which is to build their wealth, to build their fame, to build their reputation, etc. You see it, right? These people doing that. Then they create this just these things, holiness and these kind of things, and people just believe it. People just don't understand your quality, but people just follow your name. Oh, you have huge name, you must be an amazing teacher. But their motivation is wrong. We can see this clearly. So that's why this is the Kardamba masters always talk about Dharma teachers and Dharma student. Make sure you understand what's it worldly concerns. So this is totally dangerous, but people just don't understand how it is dangerous. People just don't see. If people see it is dangerous, they will not do it, right? If you see, for example, if you see a dangerous animal, you avoid it. You don't go there. Oh, this is dangerous. Don't go there. This animal might kill you. Then right? You know this is dangerous animal, so you're not going there. But these kind of things, people don't see how dangerous, and then people just believe it. Then you do it. Then there is no benefit. So, the cause of all of these problems is without investigating and out of sort of blind faith and coming to know the true meaning of the Dharma. What we need to really understand the true meaning of Dharma. And by examining the teachings and come to understand what is to be practiced and what is to be abandoned. It's so important, lang dor in Tibetan, what is to be practiced, what is to be abandoned. But if you don't investigate, you don't know. As I said, most people think that the Dharma is a spiritual tradition of give the initiations and doing these rituals and offerings and prayers, sort of made in sort of this monasteries. This is mistaken. Because this is not the actual essence of Dharma. So it's really dangerous. Myself, I saw that many years ago. I have my monastery in Tibet. They do these things. I didn't like, I skipped my monastery. I didn't go there. And then I went to Nepal and I worked, teach. I taught like 2 monasteries in Nepal. They do same things. I said, no, I don't want to do this. Then I come here. And sometimes we talk about long time ago, like maybe I should create a center here, Buddhist center. And then I was thinking, oh, no, Buddhist center, that's another samsara. So what I want is when I teach, based on make sure that I have a correct motivation, and then just give teaching, not initiations, all these kind of things, but just give teaching. And then people want to practice, good. If they think it's good, then follow, practice. If they don't want to practice, I don't care at all. I don't care how many students, lots of teachers, they love to have like thousands, hundreds of thousands of followers. I don't care that at all. I'm just telling you the truth. I don't care. If I have even like one person who really sort of practice Dharma correctly, that's enough for me. But they can investigate, whatever they want to practice. I never forced, people like become a Buddhist. I never forced like people make sure do these Tibetan culture things, Even like I don't like lots of people like these teachers like, oh, we have to create Tibetan culture in West. So make sure that when you have a student, you should do these prayers in Tibetan. I don't do these things because they don't understand. If you say in Tibetans, you don't know what is going on, then what is the benefit? So anyway, now then what do we mean by the Dharma? None of that, what I talk about, that Dharma. So what is Dharma now? Dharma is meaning of life. Dharma is teachings of Buddha. Dharma is the truth of phenomena. Dharma is the truth of the path, and so on so. But in this case, when we say the 4 Dharmas of Gampopa, in this case, Dharma is either the teachings or one's own realization or experience. If you, for example, if you practice like bodhicitta, you develop your compassion, at least just a little bit, towards yourself or others, that is Dharma. That is your life. So Dharma here means I want you to understand two things. Four Dharmas of Gampopa. That Dharma meaning here, two things: learning and realization. That's the Dharma. You learn your life. You learn how to handle uh, your negative emotions, your sufferings, and then you try to practice. Then you realize the essence. That's Dharma. So this prayer of Gampopa is we could say another kind of mind training prayer. You see, the prayer could be Dharma, prayer could be religious thing, religion, But this kind of prayer is Dharma because, through this kind of prayer, you contemplate them, then you practice them, and then it sort of help your mind. So you can say this prayer of Gampopa is another kind of mind training prayer. We have this 7-point mind training. These are amazing. These are prayer, but these are real Dharma. So this is real Dharma, mind training. Whatever your mind turned back the correct way, then it's Dharma. Because the point of this prayer is it helps sort of how do you say, unified our mind with Dharma. And this prayer helps, training the ordinary mind towards Dharma, which is benefit ourselves and benefit others in terms of action, in terms of thinking, in terms of relating to others, and so on. So that is Dharma. Okay. Now we talked about the first line last time, and the first line of this prayer has a lot of to do with the supplicating, so we will be able to practice Dharma correctly, right? And find some good methods that helps us overcome obstacles. I want to let you know that when you are dealing with the beginning of the beginner's sort of level, you don't have any good experience about your practice at this sort of particular beginner's stage. But it is important, you should be optimistic, right? Means don't lose your courage. And once you understand the real meaning of Dharma, your capacity will not limit it, so it can grow over time. So that's that. Now, the second line of the Four Dharmas of Gampopa is discussing motivation that will bring about the sort of final part. Now, it says the second line of Dharma, the Gampopa, Four Dharmas Gampopa, it says, grant your blessings so that Dharma may progress along the path. Okay, you see, this is an aspiration to succeed on the Mahayana path. When we talk about Mahayana path, for beginners, whether the activities of the body or speed conform to the Dharma or not doesn't make that much difference for beginners. But whether the mind conforms to the Dharma makes all different. Therefore, training the mind is very important. Not your body, not the speech, because, if the mind conforms to the Dharma, then your body, your speech, activities will go with the Dharma automatically for, most of the time. You understand? If the mind doesn't become with the Dharma, then it really doesn't matter what you do with the body speech, right? So it will not be of much sort of real benefit anyway. That's why it is important that the mind becomes with the Dharma in the beginning. That's why these prayers always, think about how to grow, change our this disorder consciousness or mind. How do we change this correct way? That's why you need to understand what is the real meaning of Dharma very correctly. Now here, this prayer, what does mean by Dharma may progress along the path? It is talking about the stages, because you just can't practice Dharma without taking sort of correct stages. On the Mahayana path, first, of course, your motivation is so important. Because whatever you do, your motivation mixed this outwardly concerns, you're not doing the Mahayana practice at all, right? So the Mahayana path, first your motivation is important. If you consider you are a Mahayana practitioner. And as you know, actually there are two types of motivation. One is seeking happiness for only oneself, right? Which is called the motivation of Hinayana. I want to escape the samsara, the suffering. You are looking for sort of attain the arhats, And then the other is the motivation of seeking happiness, not only for oneself, but for all sentient beings, which is as limitless as space. And it is very vast, profound motivation. So you see, basically, both of these motivation are good, but especially Mahayana motivation is more, it's something, this is unique, beneficial and profound. So we can see that. But how is it ordinary beings such as ourselves can arouse a profound motivation? Can we? I mean, we try, right? Whenever I teach, I always say, correct in your motivation. Are you really correct in your motivation? Or are you just pretending, like just think a little bit, not really from the bottom of your heart? Can we really sort of have this profound and vast Mahayana motivation? You have to try, you have to figure that out. So this is another important question to ask ourselves. Is it really, it's just my teacher said so, or you are really understanding how important this motivation, the first stage, Mahayana path, is it possible to diminish this ego, this selfishness, through the sort of training of Mahayana practice or through the correcting your motivation? Is it possible? That's first. This this prayer, Dharma may progress along the path. How progress along the path? That's first. And second sort of stage is, and then of course, having this kind of attitude depends upon taking refuge in the three jewels, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, because you want to follow the teachings that Buddha gave, and you want to practice them, right? That's why you consider your Mahayana practitioner. So that's the second. But then you must think and check with your mind. What is the benefit of practice these teachings? That's so important. Why am I doing this? Why am I spend my precious time on this practice, meditation? Why? You have to find out these things, right? Then you will see your motivation through that kind of examination, because when you investigate the second this kind of path stage, if you have a good motivation, you will see, I'm not wasting my time. Makes sense. I have a correct motivation, which is you understanding, not only yourself, but all sentient beings, right? And at the same time, you are developing your wisdom. I'm not wasting my time. This is really important. So you can see your motivation through that kind of examination. And maybe your motivation is seeking happiness for just yourself. That's okay. Maybe it is for all sentient beings. That's better. So you will see it clearly if you investigate yourself. You have to see it clearly. If your motivation is seeking happiness for others, that is Mahayana motivation. If your motivation is seeking for yourself, that's not Mahayana motivation. Then don't concern you are Mahayana practitioner, because you are not. You are Hinayana practitioner, whatever, I don't know, it may be. But clearly, if you don't have that kind of motivation, don't say, I'm a Mahayana practitioner, because you're lying. You're not Mahayana practitioner. What is different between Hinayana, Mahayana, Vajrayana? Oh, it depends on your motivation, nothing else. And for that sort of motivation, the development, you need to think about genuine love, not attachment. When I say genuine love, you have to also investigate, is there such thing as a genuine love? Where does this genuine love begin? Is it possible to love all sentient beings equally? I don't know. But if we understand the true meaning of life, the true meaning of Dharma, then maybe it is possible to love everyone. If you don't understand the true meaning of Dharma, which is true meaning of all sentient beings, if you don't understand it, there is no way you can develop genuine love. That's why Dharma practice is not just easy. You have to understand all of these things. You have to caution yourself all the time, investigate all the time. We say all the time genuine love and great compassion, We just say it, but do we have it? Is it possible to grow this? Actually, it exists. If we understand these things, it's possible to love all sentient beings. If we recognize that we are a just human being without any sort of bias, without attachment, any attachment to one's own side, if we recognize sort of this, it's deeply, then maybe great love or genuine love is possible. You see, in this world, this samsara, there's so much suffering and hatred. There's no love at all. Because of that, maybe you will see the benefit of love if you investigate. Oh, love changes everything. So you will see, then maybe if you think, oh, this kind of things, what is going on, what is happening, maybe you will see, oh, we need love, not angry, not anger, not hatred. Because basically, fundamentally, we share everything, which is we don't want suffering. Everybody wants happiness. That's the bottom line. All sentient beings, right? So if you see, if you invest in what is going on in this world, then you will see clearly, oh, lack of love. This is happening because of no love at all. Then, based on that kind of understanding, then you say prayers, you meditate, whatever you do, it will work. It will dharma. Without understanding all of this, then no matter you just say hundreds of prayers and mantras, what is the benefit, right? Because if you see, oh, we need love, like from like deeply, bottom of your heart, we need love. Then you say prayers. Your prayers are so precious, very strong. Then that is dharma. Out of understanding your wisdom, then your meditation is good, your prayer is good, then you do chok face, whatever is good, your initiation is good, everything is good. Whatever you do, it will work, it will help, because you understand the true meaning of life. What is wrong, what is right, you understand. You are not confused. So the essence of love is peace and harmony. We need that. We need that very much. If we practice like that, that is the true meaning of Dharma. Now, once your motivation is developed like that, then the third stage is you need to have a mind that is relaxed, that is peaceful, that is tamed, that is limitless, that is compassionate, that is not confused, not sort of disordered, etc. That's the third sort of stage, because usually our mind is completely occupied and it's on sort of leader this imaginary world, so our mind is not relaxed at all. No matter you do, like you make chok face every day, you receive initiation every day, your mind is not relaxed at all, then you're wasting time. Waste your time. Therefore, there are many, for that sort of, there are many different methods of how to relax your mind. and how to develop your wisdom. By the way, the wisdom is the key thing, Buddhist teaching. Everything based on your wisdom. Otherwise, you're confused all the time. So, that's very important. But when you practice even like real Dharma, there are still a lot of obstacles, right? That's why this second prayer is asking for blessing and help us without obstacles when we practice Dharma. That means, making success on the path and the progress along the path. That's that says this prayer. That's why we need this prayer, because even though you practice the true Dharma, not fake Dharma, true Dharma, then you still have lots of obstacles. Laziness, confusion, all of these things, right? So then you understand that, then you say this prayer will help you. Then you will receive the blessings, which means you understand how to deal with your obstacles. That is the blessing. Because when you enter the Mahayana path and you start to practice, but the feeling of freedom and relaxation is not there, right? That's why we have obstacles. Because every day in our life there is a problem with our thoughts, with our emotions, everything like that, right? So we are involved with this, again, worldly concerns every single day, and we're developing this sort of habit every day. That is what we call karma. So if you develop this, your mind mixed with worldly concerns, if you develop all these emotions like this, that's a habit in English. You create this habit, and in Dharma teachings they call that's karma. You create that's karma, either good or bad or whatever. You are doing it. Nobody doing it. You do. That's why you are responsible. Your karma. So we create karma, sort of that kind of habit, every single day. Therefore, there are a lot of distractions in our day-to-day life, right? Day-to-day life. We always feel that there is something we don't have, or there's something is missing. And we think that, deeply sort of think that, whatever is missing can be found outside rather than inside ourselves. So we always look in this missing things outside, from the outside. We continue to look for that, some kind of solution, And in the process of doing that, we get into all kinds of situations. And then we get sort of frustrated with that situation. And then we get into other ones. That's what we call samsara. There's no end. So you see what you're doing. There's no order, correct order, in order to sort of think in process. Which is, we could be thinking of something at one time, and then suddenly another thought comes, and then we think of something else, like that all the time, right? That's why they call it samsara. It has no end, no beginning. So our mind is very messy and disordered. That's why the whole world is messy and disordered and problems. Maybe you don't understand when I'm saying this, but the whole world that we are living has a problem because we create that problem. which is there is no peace, no love. So you think this person is so bad, I'm going to kill. And then so problem solved. No, that's not how you solve the problem, because you have no love there. You have no peace. Then another problem arises. So these things, Dharma is these things. There is no mindfulness. We just get sort of completely carried away by all kinds of emotions. We are never like mindful. We don't know who we are. We don't know what we are doing, because all of this sort of messy consciousness, all this sort of confusion. Believe me, we really don't know who we are, and we really don't know what we're doing. So we experience the sort of continuous sort of frustration of not being able to find a peace and happiness, outside of ourselves. That is our life. That is a samsara. So samsara is like onion, the onion, meaning the more you peel the skin of onion, it makes your eyes uncomfortable, and it makes you cry more and more. So it is impossible to escape from the suffering of samsara if you're looking for something outside, if you don't think about your mind, what you're doing. There's no way to uh, uh, get freedom from suffering. I mean, that's Buddha said. It's true. That's the fact. So then you see, this world gets worse and worse, worse, worse. So what I'm saying is, all of this makes us unable to practice the real Dharma. You see, that's why this prayer helps us to dispel all of these obstacles, only if we practice it correctly. So, the most important factor is learning and practicing these teachings, the Dharma, properly, and practicing them everyday life. The teachings of Buddha teaches us how make a healthy mind, or how to create, or how to develop a healthy mind, because healthy mind creates healthy life. Meditation and activity need to go together. Otherwise, we cannot act properly. And meditation is specifically related to working with our own thoughts process, okay? And try to observe them. And action is related to bringing peace and mindfulness we develop through meditation into everyday life. And to act properly, we need to be able to think properly, right? Without confusion. That's what I'm saying. We're not thinking properly. Therefore, these two things, meditation and action, need to be brought together and combined. Therefore, it is important for us to practice Dharma properly. Therefore, it is important for the Mahayana practitioners to take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, because if you have a good connection to the three jewels, the lineage, whatever, when you say these prayers, or any other prayers, from your love, from your devotion, your good motivation, then it's powerful. the prayers can help, because prayers can bring us together, harmonies, and by praying together, you will love each other. And love each other brings help each other, right? Then it brings you peace and happiness. That's what we are looking for. Peace and happiness. We need that. So prayer can bring that, because you pray together as a sangha, as a practitioner, with love, right? Then the love will make us very, what do you call it? Bring help, us, like help each other, care each other, rather than sort of hatred each other, Then this love, if you have their love, then it brings peace and happiness. That's the final goal. That's what we call enlightenment. So prayers are working if we have a good motivation and love, and if we understand Dharma. So in this prayer says that Dharma may progress along the path or making success on the path. It really means that when you are taking a sort of spiritual path as a beginner, it's really difficult to succeed because of this mind, and selfishness. Therefore, you need to practice bodhicitta. Then your Dharma practice will be successful. Because when you practice bodhicitta, somehow, correctly, if you practice not superficial, you practice bodhicitta correctly, somehow you forget yourself. And then your selfish mind is gone. When you forget yourself, then you will directly experience the truth of life. As long as your ego, your self-centered, the selfish mind, you don't experience the truth of life. But when you experience the truth of life, and then you can develop your ability to relax your mind, then your Dharma practice is successful. That is what this prayer is all about. As I said, Dharma is about our life. Nothing else about our life. Dharma, so important. Dharma is also about someone who has been on this path and developed qualities, human qualities, and from that sort of given teachings and sharing their sort of experience. That is the real Dharma practice. That's what Buddha Shakyamuni did. And without transformation, just talking about Dharma is meaningless. So please make sure that you really understand Dharma correctly. So you don't need to receive initiations. You don't need to learn how to do this Lama dance. And you don't need to study how to wear these Tibetan clothes, I will not say the name, but there is a center in the West, and they make Tsok offering, Tsok fest all the time. But then they have a rules. You can't join them if you don't wear Tibetan clothes, such as, this chuba, we call this Lama cloth. You can't join them. What is that? You see? That's not Dharma. The teachings of Buddha is unthinkable, amazing. But the way we practice is his teaching is just so wrong. That's why I'm always worrying. Maybe next future generations will go wrong direction, because what we're doing these kind of things. That's why there is no good result. So don't practice religious. Practice the Dharma. Dharma is about your mind. Dharma is about your life. So okay, I will try to stop here. This second prayer for Dharma's Gampopa: grant your blessings so that Dharma may progress along the path. You see that I give you the stages, that's the progress, how you take the progress along the path. If you don't do this correctly, this prayer is, you're not practice this prayer correctly, I think. So this prayer is actually talking about how to make a genuine Dharma practice. And our Dharma practice is not really genuine, unfortunately, because all of this culture system and all of this, also people's selfishness and all of these worldly concerns, these things make our Dharma practice not genuine. So then there is no progress along the path. Okay, let's meditate for 5 minutes. We should, I will maybe meditate on bodhicitta, because this second line for Dharma's Gampopa is about actually motivation, about Mahayana path, right? So there are so many instructions, how to practice bodhicitta, but today maybe, okay, I really appreciate the Buddha, how he taught, how he gave the teachings authentically, properly. So we appreciate Buddha. That means we should visualize Buddha Shakyamuni in front of you, not this holiness, not this minis, I don't know, maybe they are really good, maybe they're not good, but we absolutely know Buddha is the best. So Buddha Shakyamuni in front of you, you visualize not just this picture or statue, but real living Buddha. Which represents your refuge, right? And then Buddha there, and then you visualize. This is just like you are creating these things, but that's okay. This is not real sort of, but this is a method. This is good. So you then imagine sort of beautiful rays of light from the Buddha. And then this light represents Buddha's maybe love, compassion, bodhicitta. Maybe just not think about the light, but just think about when you visualize the lights, think about his love and compassion, so that you you need love and compassion, so you receive that, and then the light dissolve into your heart, your consciousness, whatever you call it, and transforms all your ordinary thoughts, ordinary these emotions, this messy consciousness into bodhicitta, which is great kindness. And then you have that, then that compassion you send to all beings who are sick, who are suffering, who are dying, all of that. And then if it's difficult to think about other beings sort of situation, then you should take your own body as an example and think how that feels. Once you have a strong feeling, sometimes, not always, but sometimes if you do that, then very strong feeling, compassion sort of arise, And then that compassion, send it to others. You can do that. And then you, um, this is so important. You should create sort of, you should do, you know, good sort of positive thoughts. Okay, then wishing all beings happy. That's the bottom line. That's our ultimate goal, looking for happiness. Then just rest there, okay, without any visualization. Just try to have a peace of mind. And that means experience your inner peace and be aware of this inner peace and just relax there for as long as you can. And then your thoughts start. And then if it is negative thoughts, try to change it into bodhicitta. Okay, let's meditate for 5 minutes, okay?